All right, take it away, Jess.
Hey guys, so excited all of y'all are on here tonight. I wanted to welcome any newbies that we have as well. I want y'all to know that we have 3 full days left of this month, and often some of us go into shutdown like, okay, the month is over, but guys, so much can happen in just 3 days. Even if you haven't signed one person yet this month, you could still hit ALA over the next few days. And so I just want to encourage you guys, for those of y'all that have set some goals this month, don't stop pushing for those until the very end. And I'm in that same boat. I still have a couple more things that I really want to happen before the end of the month. So 3 full days left. We really want to finish strong at the end of this month so that it can set us up well going into February. And we have a lot of really fun things that are going to be happening in February. I wanted to remind y'all that convention, if you have not registered, go ahead and register because it can sell out, and you want to go ahead and book your hotel as well. That for sure can sell out. So right now the price is $79 until the end of the month. And then on February 1st, it's $79 and it's going to go up to $109. So definitely worth registering over the next few days. And then also, for those of you who participated in the 7-day slim trial, that was awesome. And we want you to know that that is going to be something that's going to be happening on the regular. And so we are going to have one sometime, probably the 3rd week in February. So if you enjoyed that, or if you missed out on the one for this month, know that there'll be another one coming up, and go ahead and just be kind of thinking about that and getting excited about that as well. So I'm going to pass it to Sally.
Yes, and there are so many fun new things. We may be throwing in the option for people to do the 7-day lean trial with their 7-day slim trial for those who really want to test that out. Now that we have those 7-day lean packets too, so that will be super fun. So definitely be on the lookout for the February calendar, and we will be doing some IPA things to make sure we're inviting people and getting all that in. I encourage all of us, including me. I had 3 people in this trial, and they totally did not participate. But Jody, your team had a ton of people in this trial, and they signed a crap ton of people in the last week and a half. A lot of it due to them being in this group. It was a lot of fun. It's different than we've ever done it before, and we're going to do that again and see if it sticks because we really enjoyed that. Okay, I want to give some shout outs. We're going to do this every time we do one of our team calls. We're going to give shout outs for different things. But this week we are going to shout out some new silvers to the team. So Becky Vandenhoek is one of our new silvers. She went silver last week. Is that right? Jody, she was silver last week. So proud of her. And also Amanda Jennings just went silver yesterday. I think it was yesterday, the day before. It was at night, and we were freaking out. So super exciting, y'all. Silver is the first step to diamonds, literally. It is the same things that you do to go silver that you will continue to do on your journey the entire time you work your business that will get you all the way to the top. So incredibly proud of these ladies. Not only did they now know how to go silver, but now they know how to help their people go silver. That's the whole me plus 3 mentality. So way to go, guys. Also want to shout out to a couple of people that I know of that signed their first ambassadors in the last couple of days. And if you have any more people that have signed their first ambassadors that you want to shout out, put that in the comments in the chat group so we can all celebrate with those friends. But Erica Higgs, she's on here. It's okay if you don't want to put your video on Erica, but everyone wave to Erica. She signed her first ambassador. And your second, I think you may have already done your second too, but so excited. She is working to go silver this month. And also Rachel just signed her first ambassador under Sarah. So exciting. Awesome things happening, y'all. This is just proof that when we're getting started and working in January, that big things can start happening, and that's how we build momentum. Also cannot do shout outs without shouting out to a couple ladies named Jody and Sarah, killing their business. And I asked her to talk a little bit this morning just to make sure she knows, like, hey, you're doing awesome. You need to tell us what to do. This woman is consistently up at 6 a.m. every morning and is disciplined in her IPA and getting in the Word, and it is showing consistent activity. 100%, which we will talk about very soon. Consistent activity is one of the surefire ways to, hold on one second, I'm just going to, where is the mute button? Is one of the surefire ways to make sure that your business keeps growing. So incredibly proud of Jody. She is duplicating, she is involved in what we've got going on as a team, but she is also creating her own momentum personally by recruiting. So she's also been a fabulous leader to her level. And Sarah, both of these ladies are the only people so far on the team that have earned the Fresh Start bonus. So that is huge. Like, we're talking like less than 100 people company-wide that had earned that by the 25th. And both of these ladies did that, have signed well over ALA. And we are just so proud of you guys for working your personal business and duplicating already and plugging into what we've got going on. So shout outs. So who has added at least one ambassador this month? Raise your hand. Kimberly Breast, I see you. Raise your hand. I see all these names. Glory. Okay, awesome job, you guys. And who is working by the end of the month to sign at least one more or one period? I am too. I'm working for my ALA. I'm following up, and I am sending some messages. Y'all, this is the bones of it. This is what our business is made out of, and it is what will help you grow your team. So awesome. We're going to talk for a minute about action and how action can make things awesome. I was reminded today while reading about Noah that this is actually an area where I struggle with spiritually, because everything is spiritual, right? Everything that we struggle with mindset-wise or that we struggle with our families, like it all wraps back around to like our faith or trust or any of those things, right? So Noah has this outlandish, crazy thing that God is telling him, hey, it's going to rain. Well, it's never rained before. So what do you mean it's going to rain and flood the earth, right? He also says, I need you to build me this huge boat, which, okay, how do I do that? And where do I go about doing this and not look like a crazy person, right? So I know if I were to hear that, I am a 6 on the Enneagram, and I would have a heck ton of questions for God and probably like never actually get started because I wouldn't know the best way to do it. Do I cut the wood this way? Like, how are the animals coming to me? I don't understand like how to receive this. And what do we see Noah do? He's like, okay, I guess I'm building a boat. Like, he completely trusts the Lord, gets into action, and completes the job. Like, those 3 steps. He believed, he got into action and was obedient, and then he completed the task. And literally, like, in that moment, I was reading that this morning, and I was just like, man, I struggle with all 3 of those things. You know, like, I struggle with my mindset and doubting what God has given my family or what he's put in front of us. And then when I doubt, it is really hard for me to get into action, to get into that activity, because I'm like, I don't really know what I should be doing, or I don't know if this is going to work or this is going to work. And so if we're swaying and thrown and tossed, we're not going to be able to get into obedient action, right? And guess what? When both of those 2 things aren't easy and aren't doing well, it's really hard for me to complete a task in that instance, right? So mindset is really huge. But let me ask you guys a question. Do you think, and I want you to answer on the chat, do you think, where is the chat? There it is. Okay. Participants, I'm going to put you away so I can see this. Okay, there's the chat. Okay, do you think that action follows motivation? Or do you think that motivation follows action? I want to see what you think. So type it into the chat thread. Aaron says motivation follows action. Does anyone else have any ideas? Motivation follows action. Okay, I'm seeing a trend. But guess what? What do we all do? we all know that this is true, right? We all understand that motivation follows action, that action has to come first for us to be motivated. But what do we do before we get into action? We wait till we feel like it. We wait until we feel motivated before we actually do the things. So we're literally insane in our brains, right? Where we know that if we would just do the things, if we would send the messages and we would have 1 out of 10 responses, which is normal, right? 1 out of 10 response rate, even if it's a yes or a no, is completely normal for sending a message and asking someone to watch a video, like with our send, share, invite. I have been getting more responses with our new send, share, invite verbiage, but that is totally normal. But do you think that if you were sending 1 message a week or 5 messages a week and never getting responses, do you think you would feel motivated to do that anymore? Do you think that you would feel motivated, like if you never made a post, or you made a post like every once in a while and like no one really comments on it, and so you don't feel motivated to continue working because you're not seeing any fruit, right? Well, guys, motivation doesn't come first, and we have to remember that. We clearly know this, right? We totally do the opposite. Yeah, Joni's like, we do the opposite. Yes, we do. We know that it's not true, but we do the opposite. And this is so true for my own life, you guys. Totally preaching to the choir on this. This was like an epiphany today. That we do have to just get into that daily action. That's why I was bragging on Jody for her consistent action, like whether it's in her life or in her workouts, or she's waking up at 6 a.m. every day. Like, apart from someone telling her to do it, that's how she knows she's going to be successful in her life and taking care of her kids and feeling good about herself, right? That action and that daily discipline is what is going to allow us to see even small successes. You guys, I remember the first time people like actually responded to my messages, or like the first time someone actually commented on one of my posts and like wanted more information. Like, those are successes, right? Those are small successes. Or when friends at church finally started asking, like, what is that? Like, you're carrying around this water bottle. Yeah, I see you wear this sweatshirt all the time. Like, what is it? I saw you posting about some pink drink. And I'm like, yes, they're seeing it. They want to know more. Those are little successes. And then when we feel those, it validates the action and causes us to be motivated to do more action, right? Oh, well, if someone's going to answer me, well, I need to send out some more messages, right? Like, oh, that works. Let's do that again. And guess what then happens? So if success follows action, those little successes follows action, that breeds motivation, breeds more action on our part, more activity. That's going to bring us more successes. And with more successes, there comes, hey, you just ranked to silver. That's amazing. You're like top 2% in the company already, right? Not many people get that far because people don't stay in activity. They don't keep trying and they don't stay consistent. And then once we see more of those successes, guess what? The motivation again grows. You see a paycheck. You see someone's health drastically change that you love, or someone reaches out to you and says, I have been praying for something to take away X, Y, and Z, and I saw your post. I think I'm supposed to do this. You guys, that feels so good. It is so validating to know that when we're putting ourselves out there and doing those constant actions, being obedient in that way, when those small successes come up, they really feel so big. And more motivation leads to momentum on your team. And that is what I desire for you guys. I desire for you to see in your lives. That kind of momentum is enjoyable. It doesn't feel like you're pulling teeth to do this, right? Like, you're seeing those successes, you're in activity, and even if they're small, they're coming because you're in constant activity. Along with this goes the 60 to 90 day rule. Okay, so back in the fall and when it was turning winter, do you remember what we kept talking about? We kept saying, we have to stay in activity. The winter months can be slow. People might turn off because it's the holidays and they're ready to get fat or whatever. Like, maybe money's tied around Christmas. That's okay. We have to stay in activity, because what had happened in previous years is we're like, well, no one's answering anyway, or no one's responding. Nobody cares. People are turning their orders off. And then we stop. And then it takes like forever to get that train back in motion when people are ready to go, which is now, the beginning of the year, right? People are starting to get their taxes done. People are like finally paying off credit card stuff from Christmas, and they're like ready to like get on with their life. And so I am so proud of you guys because we proved that we were staying in activity through those months. And this is where the 60 to 90 day rule comes in. So for those of you who are new, this is an encouragement. The work you do now, the posts you make now, the messages you send now, the people you have conversations with, or the people you wear a Plexus hat or carry a Plexus bottle in front of now will impact your business over the next 60 to 90 days. Some people might ask questions immediately and get into conversation really quick, and you might be able to go silver pretty quickly, right? Like within your first 30 days, hopefully. Of course, our new Fast Start, we want to try and do that for you within your first 2 weeks. But some of those people are going to have really big walls, and it might take a long time or a lot of touch points for those walls to come down. And so what are touch points? Every time they see you post, every testimony they see, every time that you check on them or, comment under a picture on their Facebook and just show them, hey, I'm still here. I'm not disappointed that you didn't answer me. I'm not disappointed in you that you told me no. I want this for you. I don't need this from you, right? Like that's our motto. And so every time you're doing that and you're just being you and you're just breathing belief onto people through social media or through real life, like people are going to start to trust what you're saying more and more. And they're going to trust because nobody wants to make a dumb decision, right? Nobody wants to be like, oh no, they got me. I got suckered into that thing with the pink drink. And so that's where the trust factor comes in. And so your consistency in action, is going to allow people, whether it takes 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Y'all, I have signed people up that, Erin Simmons is on this call right here. Talked to the homegirl for 3 years, like here she is finally. It's okay. That's why we continue reaching out, because not everyone's going to take a year. Not everyone's going to take 3 years. Your dream teamers might, some people that are really skeptical might. But the more people you reach out to, the more responses you're going to get, the more conversations you're going to get into, and the more lives you're going to be able to change. And those successes are going to breed more action, more motivation, and eventually some momentum. So activity cures all. If you have a junkie mindset, or if you're like scared to death, or if you are stuck in a rut, any of that, get into activity, get in the team pages, get in our chat threads, get some messages out, make a post, share your story. Like, don't ever forget the power of your story. We have some amazing friends on this team that share their story frequently, like all the time. Like Josie Kennedy, if you watch her post, like she's constantly reminding people of her story. Kimberly Bress, you're great at that too. Constantly reminding people why you still love these products, why you share, because they changed your life. So if anything else, continue to just press upon those things. Like, why do you still love this? And people are going to be drawn to that in you and begin to, again, trust in all of those things. So start conversations. Keep posting, educate people, show them why you're excited, why you love this, and just connect with people, love on people, and show them it doesn't matter if they cricketed you. It doesn't matter if they told you no, not right now. Like, you're still you still love them for who they are, but you still just want better for them, and you want them to feel better, or you want them to be financially free. So you're not going to let it go, but you're going to love them in the midst of it, right? So yes, be a part of the team. Like, that's another thing. If you feel like it's hard to get into motivation, hard to get into action, like, I encourage you, and I would encourage you to encourage your teammates. Calls like this, calls like last week. How amazing was Brooke last week? Did you guys just 100% love her like to death and just want to hug her and kiss her face? She was amazing. Like, if anything else, like Monday nights at 9 o'clock, like, get your people here so that they can be encouraged, loved on, dance to a little music in the pregame, like whatever, but get them involved in what's happening on the team. And you yourself, like, just join our party, like join this community full-heartedly. And no matter what you're going through, you're going to know we're all walking through it similarly, and that you're not alone. So that being said, who's going to like write on their forehead that action has to come first? Like, we've got to stop waiting for the motivation. We know that the activity comes. And so just like Jesse said in the beginning, just as we want to end January well, go for the goals that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the month. Make sure that we're getting our ALA or helping someone go silver, going silver ourselves, right? Like, don't give up. January is not over. Get into activity though, because February is coming and you want February to blow January out of the water. Like, convention contest is on. Like, some of you guys are already earning prizes and I'm like, we still have 3 months of this thing left, right? Like, you could go to the gala with me and let's like get in a sparkly dress and do the dang thing, right? You never know. It all starts with activity. So get into activity, send out those messages so that you have people to follow up with and conversate with in February. Okay, let me turn it over to Kim Sherrill. She's going to talk to us tonight. Our product highlight is Lean, which if you haven't tried Lean, thank the Lord they just came out with sample packs of all of them. So super exciting. Take it away, Kim.
Yes. So, I mean, we have 2 types of Lean, and I could probably spend a lot of time on each of them, but I'm going to just kind of do brief overview, a few things for people that maybe aren't as familiar and had much time to do research on things. So some basic things and some things that make it different from other protein shakes. So some different things to know about Lean as a family, we'll call it that. There's 2 types. There's whey, Lean whey, and there's 2 flavors of that. There's chocolate and vanilla. And then there's also a vegetarian option too. So that one is dairy free. It's made with different types of protein, pea. I didn't write them down. There's a couple other ones as well. I think there's rice something, and I don't remember the other. But anyway, that one is dairy free as well. So if you do have people that are wondering if there is a dairy free shake option, the answer is yes. That one is chocolate mocha. So the other great thing about Lean is it is super bioavailable, vitamins, all the essentials. And then it also has the 5-MTHF folate, which is great for people that have the MTHFR genetic mutation that doesn't absorb other types of folate well. So that is something that is great for all of those people as well, because they often have trouble with anything with vitamins in it. And they have to be really careful with those things. So that is just a really great thing that Plexus has just kept in mind as they were creating these Lean shakes. You can use them for meal replacement. You can use them for a snack. You can use them for like post-workout recovery. So you can use them a lot of different ways, just no pun intended. Yeah, and they are so good. So yeah, it's a really great option for a lot of people that are either just really busy on the go, they're looking to lose weight, they're just looking for something for post-workout that's good for them, without a lot of artificial anything. This would be a great option for them, especially as people are more and more looking for clean products and ingredients. This is a really good one. So yeah, no artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, which is much different from a lot of other ones. They have at least one of those. Often it's the sweetener. So yeah, that is a really great thing about it. And prebiotic fiber is in all options. There's a different one in the vegetarian than there is in the whey options, but yes, prebiotic fiber. Other ways it's different from competitors, it's non-GMO, paleo friendly, which is not the case in a lot of different shakes. No soy or gluten in any of them. And then the vegetarian one, like I said before, doesn't have dairy in it either. So they are sweetened with stevia and coconut palm sugar, right? I have it written down. I just don't have it like right in front of my face. But yeah, so they are not sweetened with cane sugar, but they do have coconut palm sugar in them. And super high in protein, like 24 grams when they're mixed. And let's see, way cheaper than a lot of other options. I think the only other option that was even close in price is really Herbalife, and they have sucralose or Splenda in it, which is just not good for you. So not even a great option. But they are like the vegetarian one is a little more. That's $2.85 per serving. The whey ones are $2.14. So it is like half price of Shakeology, which is probably the closest equivalent as far as ingredients go. So, and I can say it's really smooth when it mixes and it tastes so good. So are just a few little things about it. Some things that you might get questions about, I think, from people, especially if they're looking for it for like post-workout kind of recovery, if they're really into nutrition and health, you might get some questions about like if there are different amino acids and stuff in it. And the answer is yes. The vegetarian one has leucine in it. And that one really is just to help with muscle building. So protein synthesis and muscle building. So that is a really good thing about the vegetarian one. The whey options have the leucine, but they have a couple of other amino acids in it as well, which are great. So it has the leucine, which helps with building muscle. It has the isoleucine in it, which is for boosting energy. And it also helps your body recover from workouts and high activity. So that is something else that is great for why it's great for post-workout. If people are asking, so what makes this great? That's a good one. And then the third, amino acid it has in it is called valine. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but feel free to correct me. Anyway, that one is more for mental health and central nervous system function. And that's one that your body doesn't naturally produce. You can only get it through foods you eat and supplementation. And it just has a lot of benefits in the body. But that's not one that your body just produces. That's one you need to consume. And so that's another one that's great for just general health. So those are a few ways that it is, sorry, my phone's dying on me here, but is just a few little tips and tidbits of information for you that hopefully are going to be helpful for you as you're sharing. And, there's lots of other information available to you about the Lean family in our resource library. If you go under, if you go under product training, there is information. That one's not in the resource library. Product information, there's product information sheets under product. And then there is also, though, in your resource library, a section called product training. And that one has some different ways to share about Lean and some different just information that's going to be helpful if you're using Lean to share with customers and ambassadors that are also loving it and wanting to promote it. Those are good resources for you. So anyway, that is it, and it is 9:35, so I think it's time to wrap things up.
Yes, thank you so much, Kim. That's awesome. Yes, everything that you need to know about Lean is all in your back office, but there are also some great posts on the team pages. If you need something quick and in a pinch, like go type Lean or Leanway in the top of the search bar on either team page, and you should see some things that'll at least help you get through a conversation. There's some great videos on YouTube as well that people have already done. I did want to make sure that we hit Kimberly Brest. Thank you so much for shouting out to your team. Barb Willits and Arlene Anderson both signed their first ambassadors, and which I did. Lori Hillman, you did sign one, and we're so proud of you guys for growing your team and your business this month. So I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I encourage you to share this link with your team. Obviously, tag them when the recording's up, but also share with them personally. I would love to see these calls grow each week so that we can all be encouraged, inspired, and grow together. I'm excited about February, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.